Save money on chicken feed. I am always looking for ways to save money on chicken feed. It isn't cheap, and the cost of keeping chicken keeps increasing. There are some ways to increase production. However, I really wasn't prepared for the sticker shock when I actually added up the feed bill and divided it by the number of eggs they were producing. So, I'm on a mission to save money on chicken feed even more than before. I'm guessing that most chicken enthusiasts would like to cut back on their feed bill too. So here is my list of 12 ways to reduce the cost of feeding your chicken. Not all of these ideas will work for everyone, so choose the methods that make the most sense for you. 12 ways to save money on chicken feed. Try mixing your own chicken feed. Keep a compost pile in the chicken pen. Feed table scraps, but don't give moldy or rotting foods. Keep a garden and feed the extras to your birds. Raise your chicken on pasture or let them free range. Grow your own grains, sunflower seeds, and field peas. Do not overfeed your birds. Reduce the size of your flock by culling or selling off old laying hens. Provide grit and probiotics to keep their digestive systems working efficiently. Feed efficient breeds. Dual-purpose breeds generally consume more feed than laying breeds. If you don't intend to eat your laying hens when they are past their prime, consider keeping a more feed-efficient breed such as white leghorns, California white, red star, or another laying hybrid. You can also raise breeds that are active foragers. These birds will find more of their own feed when given good-sized pasture or allowed to free range. Mix your own feed. If you have a source for whole grains, field peas, and supplements for your chicken, you might be able to mix your own and save some money. Whole grains are more nutritious than feed that has been ground in advance and might be less expensive. I recently began sprouting wheatgrass for my flock in attempt to reduce the feed bill and give them green feed for deeper colored yolks. The ducks go crazy for the sprouts and most of the chickens like them too. I recently watched a video produced by permaculture guru Geoff Lawton about a gentleman who raises his chickens on nothing but compost. I've been tossing all table scraps, cracked eggs, eggshells, and garden waste into my chicken pen since I started keeping a flock. I can definitely say that the chickens make the best use of my compost. They eat what they like, plus the bugs that are attracted to the leftovers. I just wish I had more compost. Poultry love fresh veggies from the garden. The chickens eat a lot less feed when my garden is in full swing. Anything that has been ruined by bugs is overripe or we just can't use fast enough goes to the flock. The ducks are crazy about cucumbers too. Of course, the peelings, etc. go to them too when I can freeze or dehydrate my produce. If you have the space on your property to raise wheat, oats, barley, field peas, maize, and sunflower seeds, you can really save a great deal on your feed bill. Of course, there is the cost of seed and equipment, but you should still come out ahead. You can reduce the expenses further by raising heirloom grains by hand instead of buying seed each year and keeping a tractor for planting and harvesting. Keep in mind that you'll be putting in a lot more sweat equity to save cash. Poultry raised on pasture can forage for much of their own grub. Note the large composting area in the middle of the pen. If you live in an area where your chickens can safely free range during the day, they will search for seeds, grass, bugs, and weeds. This variation in their diet will keep them healthy, happy, and well fed with oyster shell and layer feed on the side. Not everyone can let their flock free range due to space limitations, predators, or neighbors. Our property is not set up for free ranging the flock, so I have a large pasture that keeps them out of the neighbor's yard and the road but allows them plenty of room to forage. Don't spoil your chickens. This will be a tough one for many chicken enthusiasts who view their birds as pets rather than livestock. Too many treats will increase the cost of keeping a flock, and so will keeping older hens that aren't laying well anymore. Hens that are overfed get fatty tissue in their abdomen, which leads to decreased egg production. Be sure you aren't overfeeding your flock or giving them too much corn, sunflower seed, or other high-fat foods. They also need daily exercise to stay healthy and in good laying condition. This last tip may not work for everyone. Once your hens are past their prime laying years, cull them from the flock and make a nice pot of chicken soup, or perhaps sell them off for a good day's profitable price. When you first get your chickens, you need to make a decision about whether or not you're willing to keep feeding your hens throughout their retirement years. Keep in mind that a hen can live to be 10 years old when properly cared for, but they will only lay really well for about 2 or 3 years. If you don't want to feed non-productive hens, consider them livestock from the very beginning. Do you have ways of reducing your feed costs that aren't mentioned here? Please leave a comment.